Welcome to renttv, the canceled show. So I just watched the Adin Ross and Drake stream. And the whole thing is really a troll fest. And I realized with Drake, he doesn't really do interviews. Or at least he doesn't take his interviews serious, really. It's just whatever, really. And maybe to a certain degree, that's why he didn't do it with Act or any other like journalist. He just does these, and that's the thing with streamers too. Streamers don't really do interviews as far as like an interview. They just do like you can just come and troll with them and just play games, have fun with. Just like there's no real information being given out. There's no real discussion really being had. And it's like Drake, it seems like that's what he does now. He loves existing in that bubble where it's just like, oh, don't talk about nothing, just come troll with the kids and joke around for 2 hours. Because if he had to sit down and talk to somebody and do a real interview, they would have asked real questions. And it seems like he's ducking those questions. He doesn't want to address those things. So it's very convenient for him to go to streamers and stuff. Like the thing started out with him, oh, you want to stand up trolling Kanye, and it had people in the background moving furnitures around, I guess. Trolling Act, I guess. Maybe he's mad that Act did an interview with Kanye, even though he wouldn't do an interview with Act. I guess they needed Act to move the furnitures around, but Act was booked. He couldn't be there. He said he's working on, the only real information he gave was he said he's working on an album that's coming out soon. He kept making all this insinuation that he's the GOAT. And it's funny how Act actually called, and the way they answered the call when Act called, it was like, what do you want? That's the first thing they said to him. What do you want? It's like, it's kind of funny. But maybe they're friends. I don't know. Maybe that's how their friendship is, I guess. If they're friends. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems like it's very convenient for what happened to had happened. And then he did a whole interview. He didn't really, they're calling it a stream because that's what it was. It wasn't really an interview. And he didn't address none of it. But he was there talking about how he's the GOAT and all that. And it's like, bro, I'm not saying come on a stream and start saying all these crazy things. But at least, bro, like, is it an interview or what? Or you just trying to meet your quota with what's the gambling people that sponsor him? Those guys. So he probably got a check to do that. Like do the stream with Adin. I don't know if Adin paid him, but I know those guys are paying him. Like they're basically his sponsors and stuff. And one thing I caught was how he was telling Adin about how he can't do certain things with Adin because almost like he doesn't want to end up in the space that Kanye is at. And he was kind of trolling Kanye on some, I'm not going to say certain things, or I'm not going to do certain things because I still want to exist in a certain space. But you did and said what you said, so you exist where you exist. And he was almost looking down on Kanye, or pointing out the fact that Kanye is in a position where he would never want to be, so he can't say or do those things, because it's almost like Kanye is in a place that's kind of like not a place to be for him. He's saying how his career is going. He's had a great career and all that, which is good. But again, it's a difference. They're different type of people, I guess. Not saying one is right, one is wrong. It's just different type of people, and different type of artists, different type of businessmen, different. They're just different, you know. Now you can have your opinion on what you think is right or wrong, but I just think they're just different. Like people can be different. There's nothing wrong with that. One thing I would say is he is getting older, and you could kind of tell. Like, you could tell he's getting older. You could tell he's getting up there. Like, you could tell. It's like it's in his face, kind of. You know, it's in his face. Like, he's getting older, you know. But it's not much to gain from it. I guess he just showed up, did a stream. It wasn't much to gain. It wasn't much information. I'm thinking this is his promo run for the album he just dropped with Party. It would have been nice for Party to be there, but I think this is what he would probably consider his promo run. Where it's like, maybe to a certain degree, even though he's suing UMG, maybe UMG spoiled him to a certain degree where he can kind of get away with not doing like a real promo run. He can just, or maybe he put in the work to be able to afford to do that. I don't know. I'm not like in the background. I don't know. So I never try to assume certain things about people, especially people that's kind of famous, like, because I'm not there. Just even with everybody, just regular people, I don't, you know, if I'm not in your life, I don't know exactly, or if I don't know exactly the details of what's going on in your life, like, there's not much I could say about what's going on in the background of your life. Now, I can give my opinion if you're a public figure on what I see. Like, I legally could do that. Especially on a platform. But, you know, I can't really say much as far as in details just because I'm not there. You know, that would be weird. Yeah, it's not much to, unless you like gambling, then you sit there and watch gambling. You watch him and Adin gamble. But that's not really my cup of tea. So it was more about gambling than anything. So if you like gambling, you could watch it and watch him gamble. But I think that's what it was, because the people who sponsor him, that's what it was about. It was about that and gambling. Like, no. And then a bunch of animals, I guess. A bunch of animals. That's the thing with these guys, bro. They're always speaking in codes. Everything is subliminal. Everything is, you gotta decipher it and figure it out. And it's like, that's the difference between them, especially their generation, and the younger guys, bro. Even in the music, bro. Like, they try to hide. You gotta decipher everything, even with their raps, even with like their music, their lyrics. But the younger guys, they're just on some, bro, I'ma just say what I mean and say it exactly how I mean. Like, I don't got time to decipher what you saying, and I don't got time to put you in a predicament where you gotta be sitting here trying to decipher everything. That's the big difference. And that's what I'm saying too. He's getting up there in age where it's just like, you could tell he's from a certain generation just because he moves like that. Where it's just like, you gotta decipher things, you gotta break things down, and it's like, bro, just say what you mean and mean what you say, bro, and keep it moving, bro. Nobody has time to. Now you have a fan base where they could sit down and do all that, but for the most part, bro, and this is why I enjoy listening to like younger artists sometimes, bro. It's just, bro, they're saying exactly what they mean and they mean exactly what they're saying. Even if they use metaphors, it's not really like you gotta go sit down and decipher a whole conspiracy theory every time these guys do an interview or like drop a song. It's like, bro, just say what you mean and mean what you say. Like what are you so scared of, bro? If you're so scared, then don't say nothing. If you're so scared, then don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why say something and you scared and you gotta hide it and do all that? It's like, bro, like, ain't nobody on that, bro. Now, the older artists, you could tell they're older artists just because they do things like that. And it's like, bro, it's annoying, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's annoying. It's very annoying. It's like, bro, nobody has time to like play these games. It's like, bro, like, nobody has time to play. Yeah, now there's some people who got time to sit down and try to decipher, like, oh, like, you know, like a woman, like, the stuff he did, what did it mean? What did this mean? You know, like a woman with like what a man does, like, oh, he did this, like, what does it mean? Like, why is he doing that? You know, like, some people don't got time for that, bro. You know, there are people who got time to do all that shit, but it's like, bro, no. Nobody has time for that. I just say what you mean and mean what you say. If you don't want to say it, don't say it. You already did a lawsuit, bro. So you already saying a bunch of things. So why are you still speaking in codes? You already did a lawsuit. You already did a beef. Bro, he said your name. The Kendrick guy said your name in the song. He said your name in the song, bro. And he said you're a pedophile. And he said your crew's name. He said niggas around you. He said all their names. He didn't sugarcoat none of it. He said y'all names. And he said exactly what he thought y'all were. Even though he still does the little deciphering thing too. He does that too. But as far as that diss track he dropped, he said your name, bro. He said your name. He said everything, bro. Everything wasn't no, you didn't even have to decipher that song, bro. And that's probably why, to a certain degree, certain people mess with that song. Because you didn't have to decipher that song. You didn't have to decipher that song. He said everything. He said your name. He said everything. He said everything. There's no deciphering. You could tell he was talking about you. It's like, bro, you came in the stream to play around and act like a kid. And it's like, it's cool. You could joke around, like, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with joking around and having fun. But, bro, it has to be balanced with this. It has to be some type of, I'm not saying talk about your life or whatever, but it has to be a segment of it that's kind of like at least serious, that can be taken seriously. There has to be a certain amount of segment in there. There was none, bro. There was none. So it's like, why do it anyway? Like, if you want to gamble, bro, just, I guess people are into gambling. And it's one thing to be into gambling. Like, I'm not into, even if I was into gambling, bro, I wouldn't be into watching other people gamble. Watching other people play with their money, watching other people spend their money. That's weird, to me at least. Like, if you're into gambling, why don't you go gamble? It's not like he gave you any tips on how to win money when you gamble. No, He didn't even do that. That's what I mean. There was no information really in the stream. It was like a waste of time, really. There was no information in it, bro. There was zero information in it, bro. It's like niggas think they're baddies or some shit where niggas will just people will just sit down and watch them be bad. I don't even do shit like that, but at least some people might be able to understand that because they're women. It's whatever. You know, like men and certain people tend to like to look at women, just sit there and look like women, look good and all that shit. I don't know if this nigga think he's a baddie or some shit. It's like, bro, there was no information in that. Nobody want to sit down and watch you like. You didn't even give nobody no tips. Like, bro, this is how you can gamble better. Oh, here's a discount as far as if you like to gamble. Here's this, here's that. None of that shit, bro. No information at all. Hey, nigga. And then he's talking shit about Kanye. Yeah, Kanye can say all the stuff that he wants to say, but at least you could find some type of information in there. You could find some type of information in there. Something that could actually like improve your life maybe. Like, or you can apply to your life, whether it's something to do or something not to do. You just come and troll. Talk about yourself. Nigga talk about, oh, nobody should be listening to no other songs but the album I just dropped. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're supposed to be at a place where you already solidified. You're supposed to be trying to like bring some of your artists with you, bro. You didn't even bring Party with you. You didn't even bring Party with you, bro. How you drop an album with this guy and you have done no promotion with him? He shot a video he shot one video of the album. Only he's in that video, bro. Party's not in that video. Isn't that crazy? Party's not in that video. Only he's in that video. He's doing an interview. Party's not in the interview. It seems like everything he does is just about him, bro. It seems like he's just all about himself. It's crazy. Some people suspect that he just used Party, my bad. He just used Party to handle certain things, to get out of the hole he got himself in. And now he's talking about, he's coming over here basically trying to promote already his new album that's coming out. Where are the songs where you and Party are on that got a video? Where are the songs where it's only Party on there that got a video? They said there's a song on there that people are messing with. That's a Party song. Where's the video for that? He's signed to you, bro. He's under your label, bro. You gonna promote him? You gonna push him? You gonna bring him with you so he can get exposure? What about all your other artists that signed to you? Do you ever bring any of them around to give them exposure outside of you just maybe posting them on your page? It's like, bro, there's so much you could do. But you want to come on this stream and act like you some type of baddie or some shit. Bro, like, you aging, bro. You aging, bro. And people could tell. Like, you aging, bro. At this point at this age you at, bro, you're supposed to be giving people information because you don't experience certain things, bro. Not just when you filed a lawsuit. You're supposed to be giving people information, bro. At this age you at, bro, when people hear you talk, there's supposed to be some type of information there, bro, that they could use to either improve their lives or, like, you had fans that don't grew up with you, grew up listening to you. Where's the information at, bro? How are you bettering their lives? Niggas still speaking in codes. This nigga is still like, you taking shots at people. It's like, bro, at least there's some type of information, bro, that they give. It's all about, it's an information age, bro. People want information. People want to better their lives. And you're in a position, and you've been in a position where you could actually impact people's lives and give them this information, bro. And you more worried about looking like you a baddie or some shit. Like, I don't get it, bro. But maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm weird. I'll say that. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm weird.